What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. Spawning at the top of the map in the red color, playing as Poseidon. It is your main Twitch chatter extraordinaire, master of the memeology. Age of Mythology memeology is a thing, and he has got a PhD in it. His name is 3antozz. His opponent today, RTS Sanctuary's best voted poster of the year, always providing some comedy with his broken English and general good times. He's a fantastic human to be around. His name is Moore, and he is playing Oranos. We do have the map painted desert here. Poseidon versus Oranos here. Let's move over and just have a quick look-see here at the opening build of 3antozz. Oh, we're seeing the old standard here, 4 villages to food, and the standard 2 villages to wood, going on to the gold mine here, saving lure for just a little bit longer. So this could be 4-2-2, which means you can advance fairly quickly here, depending on how you want to do it. And I actually think that in this matchup, the best way to play for Poseidon is to be advancing as fast as you can with hunting dogs. So you want to get up as fast as you can so that you can get out Theseus and Hippolyta together. Theseus by himself, not that important. With Hippolyta, super good. You get also your myth unit going as well, which is an extra bonus. And then you can also be getting out a military building to boot. Very, very good. But instead, what we're actually seeing here from 3antozz, and this is an interesting play here from 3antozz. This is essentially he's saying, I'm going to town center with this because he's going early out onto this, saving the lure, meaning that he's going to be trying to have some hunt in his base with a second town center, but he doesn't know that his town centers here or how his town centers here actually are. This one actually has some decent hunt on it, but it's not close enough to the town center for him to actually eat it. So all of these things coming in, we're seeing a little bit of a gamble from 3antozz, and we'll see if it's going to work out for him. I don't foresee him staying one town center in this, given what he's done thus far, but I could be wrong. We'll see how that's going to go. More on the other hand, he actually comes up with some interesting build orders himself, coming through with 4-minute advance times and a whole bunch of other like things on like Anatolia, going for the 5:15, trying a whole bunch of different things. But on this map, he is looking like he's going for a very, very standard build here. And we've even got... I'm getting abused. 3antozz is actually in the chat currently abusing me for saying go one town center. I'm going to have to prove him wrong. You just wait for it. I will find an Oranos and I will play them. I'll show you how it's done. Maybe. Okay, so Katoskopos scouting around, doing all the good stuff, finding the forward citizen on this location. Classic Katoskopos. Harass. More now getting up his temple. He's already got the resources to advance. 3antozz getting out an early Theseus here. I'm going to be probably sending that forward onto this position. The early Theseus is kind of an interesting one. It slows you down 9 seconds to get your myth unit out. So and it also slows you down 9 seconds to get your military building out, which can actually lead to a unit difference or something like that in the early game, which can actually matter quite a bit against Oranos if you want to control an area of the map. Now, seeing over here the Katoskopos just being a little bit annoying, but then again, you can move in and just push off food here and get some good value. Now, I think that it will probably become fairly standard it should be fairly standard for Oranos players to actually manually heroize their oracles here. Because retreating away from this food is just simply not worth it. You lose a lot of resources that you otherwise would have gained, and you can simply just have 2 free oracles here to push the Theseus back, hold on to this location, and be very, very happy. So we're not seeing that here. We are seeing the villagers simply just retreating back. 4 more, 3 villagers on gold, 1 villager on food, 2 villagers on wood. The villager looking like he's moving up to the top side as we see the Katoskopos getting taken out. Military barracks getting thrown down here as well. Counter barracks as well. No surprises. Antozz, on the other hand, he is getting his Hippolyta out. And a little bit late on the second town center. If he is going, we still don't see the lure getting thrown down by Antozz. I wonder, obviously you chuck it down in the home town center. You can actually bring the goats over here if you so choose. And we are going to be seeing that town center coming up very, very quickly here. So this allows more right now, once he can scout this out, to simply just build himself 6 units. And you build the 6 units with the intention of casting Valor. And you can get some harass onto your opponent. As we see the lure getting thrown down. And you get some harass onto your opponent. You get yourself some advantage over here and hurt your opponent just a little bit. And you just simply grab 3 town centers. And there's not a lot your opponent can do, or the Poseidon 2 town center player can do, to slow that down. And then you're just looking for a Mythic Age timing to punish the 2 town center if there's nothing else you can do. As we are seeing a very, very peculiar... I think that this lure is very peculiar. Maybe it's going to be bringing in these gazelle that are right near this town center. But I would have thought in the main base is fine. But I guess it's not going to matter that much in the long run. And we'll see how this is going to go. We can see the Promethean be pushing these gazelle back just a little bit. Being very, very annoying here. And the stable coming in as well. What's this relic that our Theseus of Antozz has got? The Ring of Nibelung. An extra 18 gold per second. Not very much, but it is worth it nonetheless to chuck that in the temple if you feel like it. We're going to be seeing that happen. And the stable coming down in a bit of a precarious position, but it does kind of defend just a little bit here. As we see more, putting more pressure on. How many more buildings is more getting? He's still actually building units, which is a bit of a surprise here. Maybe because it's painted desert and more feels like he can get a lot of damage staying 1 town center. He's going to go for this. So this is completely fine if you can put the pressure onto your opponent. And I do think that this is a painted desert kind of choice from Moore. And we might actually be seeing one of the big weaknesses here of this lure. Maybe if he chucked it on the backside of the town center, it could have been a bit better. But we are seeing Theseus holding on for just a little bit as the military academy getting taken out there, not allowed to come up. The villagers moving over will be able to eat this hyena now, as Moore has got all of the advantages here, and he's actually going to come through and attempt to take the lure down. What a play here from Moore. I'm not sure exactly how much food is going to be able to prevent Antozz from getting here, but that is a huge play, taking the lure out. And now Antozz has got no food on this town center, no resources on this town center, and he is actually forced to cease fire here as the units push in, trying to pick off another villager. Moore playing this one incredibly well thus far. I'm still wondering when he's going to stop building units, or if he's just going to go full Oranos. That is a verb there. Full Oranos. It's a thing on Antozz, and essentially going full Oranos. He's stealing the goats. He's stealing the goats. He's doing everything here. So full Oranos means auto queue Murmillo Terma and just put your face on the keyboard and just like send the units in to kill the opponent. That's what going full Oranos is. And I think we're seeing Moore go full Oranos here. No attempt at town center timings, just 115 pop. He might go 3 town centers after the 115 pop, which we have seen quite a bit from Oranos players, and we'll see how he's going to go. There are, I should say, watchtowers up now for Moore, and we're also seeing the walls getting thrown down for Antozz, and the walls getting thrown down for Antozz as well in an attempt to prevent this location from getting targeted down. And we are simply going to see Moore going straight after this town center. He does not care that there is double watchtowers targeting down plus the town center. He's got a big advantage here, but the Hippocon are coming through. We'll start targeting down the Terma very quickly as many Terma are falling, and Moore is throwing his advantage quite a bit here, I would say, but he is forcing 14 villagers currently to be idle, which is a lot of income. If you think every single second this is idle is 14 resources, if it takes, like, how much does these have? Like, these cost 80, let's just say it's 85 resources. So if these villages are idle for like 5 seconds or something, that's quick math, maybe a bit more than 5 seconds. That's the cost of a unit falling in this push. So Moore is getting a lot of value out of this, to be honest, as the Hippocon streaming in here, trying to defend, and 3antozz, he's defending nicely thus far, but there's the town center right now, 4 more going up. But Moore needs to get out of here now. He's just about out of steam. We might see the Hippolyta getting targeted down. Nice micro there from 3antozz, as we are seeing Moore just simply staying put here. He's still 100 population. 3antozz is 54 population as the village is getting out. I'm going to try and shank down some of these units, getting a little bit of damage done. As the Terma still wandering around, we see the Hippocon getting taken out here. Nice play from 3antozz to micro this one just a little bit, allow those towers to do the damage. It wouldn't be a bad idea for 3antozz to actually get himself crenellations here either. It doesn't give bonus damage versus the Terma, but it means that the Terma cannot run through his base anymore. It means that the hero Mermillo cannot run through his base anymore without taking damage. And we are 18 villages idle as Moore is simply just staying put here. Very smart play from Moore, but he's got to be running out of resources soon. He's still starting to lose population soon. And we are seeing these villages now moving over onto the chicken here. No farms, or a couple of farms have been set up now for 3antozz. 3antozz probably got a decent amount of wood in the bank, but he just can't build farms at this point with all the units that are in here. More villages getting taken out as 3antozz is like leading the score by quite a large margin, but he's just not able to get anything sorted out here. He's still managing to train villagers from everything. The villagers are now onto farms over here. Does he have plow out? No plow. Can't afford that one just yet, as the Moore army still just moving around in this location, doing lots of damage, denying the farms on this town center. The Hippolyta very, very low here. And Moore is having to retreat. Finally, 60 population for 3antozz. Moore's at 91 population, 2 town centers. Nice play thus far, hanging out in this location, but it is looking like Moore is slowly starting to fall behind. Still doing some garrison micro for 3antozz. I think it'll probably be worth it for him to just leave this and just jump onto the wood over here or something, move all the villages over here, build a granary and build a bunch of farms around this, just as the more safe town center. But now Moore's done the damage, but I would say, if I had to guess, I would say the damage that Moore has done right now is roughly equal to the damage he has taken. Because he just lost a lot of units here. And so he did a whole bunch of damage on the economy. If you look at the economic difference right now, it's going to be heavily in the favor of Moore. But he lost so many units that it kind of equalizes. We do see Valor getting cast here, and it's the lone centaur going to get sniped down, as well as trying to retreat away. More centaur getting built by 3antozz as he's trying to get some of those units out to help him in this fight. Now he's starting to get some hoplites down. And Moore is going to be on the back foot here. We do see the town center now coming up for Moore as well, going up to 3 town centers at this point. Villagers coming out everywhere. He needs a little bit more on the food, a little bit less on the gold. He has transferred a couple of villagers off of the gold now, and he just needs some farms coming up here. He's getting himself plow, starting the farms up. There are a few giraffes still remaining, but most of the food or hunt has been taken out, as Moore is continuing to apply the pressure to 3antozz, who is trying his darndest to hold on here. Now, all getting away. The centaur in the back doing their thing. And there's a big shockwave coming in to allow Moore to take down the centaur. Very nice play there. These centaur have been fairly useless thus far. We also see a nice oracle positioning here for Moore so that he can spot that town center if 3antozz can ever go for it. So very smart play from him there. As 3antozz very short on food here. Essentially, he's trying to build from 4 buildings, costing roughly 50 food a building every roughly 15 seconds. So he's going to need about 18 villages on food, maybe 20 villages on food to maintain all of that, and also working his way to the next stage. So that's not happening just yet, but we are seeing More still throwing away a whole bunch of units. Antos climbing up in that population, getting closer and closer to a strong position here. More with a lot of gold in the bank currently. He needs to sort that out just a little bit as the army retreating back. Antos just hanging out with all of these Hippocon here. Now more retreating back. The walls up. There's so many walls here for Antos. He's throwing up a watchtower as he realizes how important holding on to this location is. But we'll see if he's going to be able to do it or not. Antos, 110 of 110 population, needs some more houses. Going to be swinging around with his Greek army as we are going to be finally seeing more able to push through here. But the tower is up. Not targeting down a infantry unit on this location. Going to be throwing up some wall segments around the sentry tower or the watchtower just to hold this for a little bit longer. We'll probably see some military buildings get thrown down here as well to block this as we see a house getting chucked up here. More wooden wall segments coming up just to block this in as the army of Antos coming in to defend this one. He does have a very strong army right now, and with the help of the Hippolyta in the back, those Prometheans die very quick. We see another watchtower coming in, and it is going to look like Antos will be able to hold for the time being as Moore is continuing to get further and further ahead. I think he's full villages right now. Lots of farms set up, lots of economy. He can fight for days, whereas Antos, he's still struggling for his economy just a little bit. He has the farm set up now, so that's great. Thinking about maybe getting this town center. He's got a couple of villages over here. So we see cheeky Moore. Is he going to throw up a sky passage or just try and take the town center? Now, you know, what I personally think about going 4 town centers here with Oranos is a bit of a mistake in this matchup because it allows the Greek player to get to the Mythic Age very, very safely, and we'll see if that's going to be the case here or not. Obviously, it's kind of looking like Moore's economy here is already big enough that he can kind of do this and get away with it. So we'll see how that's going to go. A couple of units moving up to the top gold mine and start harassing those ones there as Antos still trying to hold on to this location here. The hoplites need to be attacking the Terma right now. Basically, allow those Centaur in the back to clean up any of those military or those infantry units while everything else gets taken out. We are seeing a couple of units moving over to deny the town center of Moore. Moore is going up through Thea now, so not going through Hyperion. This does make sense most of the time because Thea gives access to those triads, which can be very, very helpful to increase your population by an effective 15 if you consider a dryad 3 population, which I think they are roughly worth a 3 population myth unit, roughly worth a classical age myth unit if you look at the stats. Now we see the citizen getting taken out here. The Hippocon getting taken out as well. As stables coming down as well for Antos. And the Centaur gets taken out. As Moore still trying to push forward. Antos, he's in a decent position, but he's got... he needs to get to the next age here. He has his armory up. He maybe just canceling units for just a little bit wouldn't be a bad idea just to advance here. But we are seeing the raids coming in onto the town center yet again. Moore's being super aggressive here in this game. How much food in the bank? Not a lot. He's getting himself immediate quarry here. I would have gone with irrigation straight away. But we'll see the marker get thrown up and the Mythic Age coming through very shortly here. As the Centaur are actually doing a nice job defending this. Town center does end up getting denied. And Anton's going to be happy with that one. The fortified town center is coming through for more as well. And we still don't see that heroic age coming through just yet. And he is coming now with Aphrodite. No surprises going through Dionysus. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense here. Given the fact that you're probably going to be transitioning away from Hippocon a little bit. You don't want to go for Thracian Hippocon here. And over here, this is all getting dealt with. Nice play. Antos might try and grab this town center. And, like, maybe this is okay, but I think your better bet is to save these resources and go Mythic Age so that you have access to a Colossus to deal with everything. Throw out more military buildings, defend as best as you can. We are seeing the heavy infantry and Terma coming through as Moore is just upgrading everything. How are his armory upgrades looking? He's got himself full copper as well, whereas Antos has got nothing thus far. And the Terma pushing in, getting some very, very good damage done here. And Aphrodite just about to pop. It's going to be a very big curse, even though these are heavy units. And it might be worth cursing this anyways as they're retreating away so that he can get those pigs in his base to eat those as well. Antos with a lot of resources now in the bank. He's got himself that third town center, moving up onto this gold mine over here. Probably see the market fairly soon. Moore is still not going to the Mythic Age, but he has thrown a market up somewhere. No, he hasn't got his market up, so he's just going for more armory upgrades here as we see the big curse coming down here. That's huge for Antos, getting himself 9 pigs here that he can send home and eat instead of being on the farms for a little bit, so that'll be nice. We'll see how this is going as the Murmillo hero coming in. Going to get sniped down, does manage to take down another centaur here. And Antos actually managed to make this game seem very, very close here. I feel like maybe Moore is overcommitted, maybe one too many times, but still no market up for Moore. He could choose to go Vortex here as well, which can be very difficult to deal with. You don't necessarily have to go through Hecate, especially this late in the game. And that Vortex can actually allow you to then go Titan, because then you can Vortex onto your opponent's Titan gate and kill that off, while he cannot really do the same for you. Well, obviously there's potential for Artemis to deny your own Titan gate, but we'll see how this is going to go. Moore's market is up. Which god are we choosing? Helios is the god of choice here. Moore has actually stopped production for quite some time as Antos pushing through. Antos with all of the advantage right now after all of that early game pressure. And is he going Mythic Age? Not just yet. He's just going to apply all the pressure he possibly can here with this army. We'll see if he can make it work. There is only this gold mine over here. The villagers moving where for more gold have just finished up here, maybe moving into the middle of the map. We see some Arcus coming in to try and take down the villagers, take down the Hippocon that's here. Meanwhile, over here, the Dryads coming out. That Symphalian Bird in the back needs to pull back, and you have to snipe down the enemy Hippolyta first, such that the Symphalian Bird can actually take down the Nemean line. Otherwise, it's going to be a very, very good fight for the Poseidon player here. As we see the Hippocon getting taken out, the villagers moving into the middle of the map here for more. He's going to try and throw a palace down here, probably. Antos, no fortified town centers yet, but it is coming through. Market is up now for Antos as well. A bunch of military buildings getting thrown down in the middle of the map for Antos as the Nemean Lion pushing in here, getting so much damage done. The Watchtower is here, but no crenellations means the Hippocon can stay here for a little bit longer than they otherwise would have been able to. Now the villagers retreating away here, and it is looking like Antos has got no control over this gold mine. This is the last gold mine for Antos. Lots in here, so he might have to start making trade and not go to the Mythic Age. Helios just about to pop, and we don't have any real siege out just yet for Moore, so I'm not sure what his plan is here. He doesn't have any favor really, only 46, so he can't make a whole bunch of Hecagigantes here. He's got no gold, which is a big important thing, and he hasn't started a trade route at all, so he's actually really struggling for production. And we'll see how this is all going to go as the army is just piling into each other. That's looking like Moore has got the advantage on the armory upgrades with bronze versus literally no upgrades for Antos. So huge advantage where that is concerned. So every little bit that Antos fights now is an advantage for Moore, even though it's the Greek army against the Atlantean army. So Moore's actually found himself an interesting advantage here. And if you ever do find yourself in this position where you are behind on armory upgrades, pull back, fight underneath Archer Fire, and get to the next age. That should be where you spend your resources. And it is looking like Antos decides in that moment that the game is over, tapping out. I don't feel like Antos is 100% lost here. Like this game is still kind of close, especially given Greek advantage over the enemy in the late game, and Helios maybe not being able to defend against a Vortex is something on the back of Antos's mind. But all of that commitment here in the mid game forces allows basically Moore to continue the pressure here. I feel like had Antos not gone for this and maybe even delayed the town center, went Mythic Age, or even after this town center, not gone for the fortified town centers, instead went for Mythic Age as well, he can get to that Greek late game kind of dream against the Atlantean, given that he can build out, get out Hephaestus, get out Forge of Olympus, get out all the armory upgrades, and then be able to compete very, very easily against the Oranos army, having having like Heliopolis advantage as well. The building spam everywhere that Poseidon loves to do to get all those militia out could be really, really good as well. But Antos kind of just gave up here. And I mean, maybe it's just too difficult. He's kind of gets pushed off this wood line as well because of the siege bareem. This is kind of actually an interesting play from Moore. You can cut off a lot of wood income with a couple of siege bareem on the sides of the map here, which is something that maybe the map designers didn't intend, but is actually a really, really smart player from Moore. Might see that more in the future. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.